Yeah, that would probably be a good idea if I plug the damn thing in. Thank you for checking me on that. Um, some people were asking if I write, if I was writing my own bots. I don't make bots anymore. I used to make bots for a long time. Now I write strategies and automation for myself instead of the market because I'm a much better trader than my code is, and my code has the potential to make me a better trader if that's what I tell it to do. So that's a story for another day. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good. Good evening, everyone. I am Sensei Kevlar, here with you again to stare at some charts. The first request that I received was for XRP. XRP is definitely an interesting one. Me and Jed go way, 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 way back. I'll tell you a little story about a man named Jed who once, I'll type this right, once worked with me on a project known as a Donkey 2000, and how that later turned into modern file sharing technology. Boy, this is the trade that just keeps giving back, doesn't it? Because when we first looked at this chart, it was before the 30th. It was back here when we were coming down, and we were tracking this trend right here, and it was moving on up into this right here. And I remember East Coast Crypto getting excited about the fact that we were going to be profitable. He said he bought in somewhere, and then he had to double up. Boy, is he profitable at this point if he's paying attention. This is a really good market for finding resistance and support in. Clearly, we have an opportunity right here where the market came up and the market said, no, I think this is high enough for us right now. This is the same thing that happened over here. And when we moved above that line over here, we came back down and touched it. Very clear indicator. Let's bring in another indicator. Clearly, we've got a bottom with a trend coming off of here. Where's our true market bottom? It's a pretty easy coin to 4x up on when you're doing something like this. If you got in down here, this is absolutely your profit-taking opportunity. You should have been neutral in the market. This should have been on an automation off scenario. This should have been, you know, I did exactly what I planned to do, which is make a nice, beautiful trade, and I'm going to do that in this market over and over and over again until I become as profitable as I want to be. Now, can we buy here and then hope it keeps going? Yeah, but, you know, it's a really risky trade. I would honestly wait for it to come back down to this trend line at the very least before buying back in, because we are trying to get 1, 2, 3. And if we do get 1, 2, 3, and then volume keeps on doing what it's doing, a general upwards trend, this is a very good sign. There's nothing wrong with this. The bottom indicator is signaling a lot of buying at this point. Therefore, you can consider it, but be real prepared to double up, triple up, quadruple up all the way down here if you need to. There's no reason that you should be making a trade that does not include you getting all the way to here and not even sweating it in the slightest with your portfolio. You want your portfolio free to do 100 of these at exactly the same time, and you're not even breaking a sweat. It's the market just plummets on you. Doesn't matter. That's micro positioning, and that's how you make yourself sane in a market like this one. This doesn't apply in stock markets. This isn't how we work in stock markets or forex markets. This is how we work in crypto markets, and it's very specific to this market, very specific to these situations. Manipulated markets, gotta love them. Okay. What in the heck did I pull up? Bitcoin Cash, of course. The real Bitcoin. Can we see a very clear bottom right here? Remember, this is a very new coin. Can we decide if we're in a true channel bottom? I think it's more likely that this is the actual price of Bitcoin Cash right now. But I think we definitely do have room to run upward here. We are getting a breakdown on the trend on this guy, and we are getting a return to the norm in the RSI, which does give us a good clear signal that the market well and truly has found its price right here in the middle of this channel, and the forces that are aligning to push it down and to push it up really have come into massive accumulation. Look at this nice accumulation pattern right here, where everybody's just buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, really tight. Okay. At this point, it is going to be decision time at some time here. So we really do need to decide what it is we ultimately want to do long term. If we come and we look at this trend right here, this will certainly tell us something. And if we extend that on out into the future, and if we look at this trend right here, and we extend it on out into the future, well, I think we know our decision point at this point, right? This is definitely coming up and butting up against, if you see this trend right here, extended into the future, meets this trend right here. Would a break below this line signal a valid buy entry down here? Absolutely. Would it moving up like this signal a potential breakout that we could take advantage of? Absolutely. Can we plan for profitability in a market where this coin goes in either direction? Absolutely. We could absolutely enter the market right here if we absolutely had to, because we're newbies in the market, and plan for profitability. Where else could we go? Well, here's where we could obviously go, right here. Way back in time, if you look at when Bitcoin Cash was just a little baby, we did this one right here, and gave us a different indicator of where we might come down to. Where's another bottom for us? Well, I'd say this one right here, which did not quite get respected here. Okay. Do we have some very clear indicators right here? Absolutely. But something else important has happened that I really want to call your attention to. The trend lines here are unevenly spaced. This is very much going to inform our planning. This is a small motion downward, at which point we can be profitable very easily. That's an easy double up, okay? This is a very large motion downward. Ideally, we'd like to find an indicator that would tell us that we are stopping somewhere in our nasty trend, heading towards the bottom here. However, assuming that we didn't, this might not be a double up because let's say it doesn't come back all the way up to here again. This might be a 3x up, a 4x up, a 5x up, just to bring that profit line down, at which point above it you are profitable again. Okay? And we can absolutely make money in this market, no problem. It is a very, very nice market to make money in. Yeah, MCO. Let's get some more charts here, guys, before I get to the next chart, please. Boy, if we did not call this opportunity like nobody's business. We said, what are the two things that it could do right here? Well, it could go up and we could be profitable. It did that. And then we could come down and we could buy in again. It did that. And then when it could go up and we could be profitable again. And it did that. And then it could come down and we could be profitable here. And it did that. Okay? Or maybe you're a bag holder from up here. Or maybe you're buying into the market up here at this line right here, where we're clearly seeing some correlation, okay? And you need to double up and double up again, and here you're profitable, right in this leg right here. If this is this is a triple up, then you're profitable right here, right in this leg right here. If you only double up, then you're going to have to get all the way up to here in order to be profitable in this portion right here. This is a very nice market to trade. I really like Monaco a lot. I really like the fundamentals of this. I really like the different opportunities that it presents itself. Of course, right now, I think we're seeing an incredibly strong buy signal. Okay, we've had the classic RSI from here down to here, forming increasingly spikier bottoms. We're now seeing the return to the norm off of a 1, 2, 3, looking for a fourth bounce. Could we not come down and touch this? Absolutely. This could be our new trend right here that we're already seeing forming. This would give us a very nice buy indicator. This would be a very easy coin to plan for profitability on. I think we could, really expect to come down. Maybe you might double up here. You could absolutely skip it though and do a 3x or a 4x up down here. I'd say I'd skip this one if I were to buy in here and it really came crashing down. Do a 4x up here and not even think twice about it. Plan the trade, trade the plan. There's the plan right there. We're going to buy one position here, and if it goes up, we're going to be profitable. We can just sell that position, start over again, right? If it goes down, this is our double up point potentially, and I don't like it unless you're seeing 1, 2, 3 bounces off the bottom, increasing volume. RSI is telling you that we're okay to move up. MACD is saying that the fast moving trend is changing. We're respecting this trend line right here. Then we can go ahead and say, maybe we double up on a fifth bounce of this trend line in order to take the profits up here, right? But the minute that you actually modify the plan in that way, you're being undisciplined, and I don't think you should do that. That's not the plan. The plan remains that if you are profitable on this leg, take it and walk away, take the opportunity. What you're talking about here is a riskier strategy. And when you have tens and 15s and 20s and thousands and all these bitcoins in your wallet, and you want to be a whale and you want to sit here and buy and buy and buy and buy and buy the market, this is what automation is really for. What you're doing is trying to make your wallet into something you can automate. The zen of automation is that you want to do something that works in any situation, no matter what the market is doing. Make your pennies, make your nickels, make your your dimes, and walk away and keep doing that day after day, week after week, and then the profits just roll in. And the reason being, if you're sitting there in the top 10 market cap coins, those things are just going up on their own. You're doing fine off the raising the rate of the coin against the dollar. Meanwhile, you're increasing the number of coins, and that's how you multiply your coins. I would say that Pay has probably run its course for the moment. Be very, 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 very careful. We are certainly seeing a little bit of spiking above, but I think we have had, a real return into the norm here. I'm not seeing anything that's telling me really strongly that the market is about to send it to the moon. I think you could wait on this and free up your portfolio. If you really were to look for an entry, it would have been back here, guys. This is really the place to be. And yeah, we can absolutely get a descending wedge out of this, where we have the selling pressure coming down to meet the buying pressure here, and then we broke out of that, and we absolutely could have a long-term trend, but we're not quite there yet. We're not quite back to the norm yet. So maybe this is the new price level. Maybe I'm wrong, and that's fine. Can we plan to be profitable if I'm wrong? Absolutely. Let's see how. Well, if we buy one position now, because we are, hoping that this thing will just take off to the moon, where would we buy back in? I'd probably wait for the trend line down below here. And I'd wait for a good bounce, and I'd wait for a little bit more volume. I'd wait for this situation right here to show me something different. I'd wait for this situation right here to show me something different, because I'm just not feeling this. It's looking pretty flat right here. Not a lot of interest in this market at the moment. You could have a lot of accumulation, and this could once again shoot up and go to the moon, but frankly, I'd be looking for other opportunities. I think there's other more interesting prospects in the market, and I think you're probably likely to find that having done one of these, it might be ready to do one of these. And these aren't really terribly interesting. This is not the best way to make money. The best way to make money is to go find a coin that really has had a big spike downward, and then you're seeing a big ramp upward, because that's where all the volatility is about to occur. Let this thing kind of peter out on down into this zone again before you buy, and just, pause for a second and be reflective, because I'm not sure that this thing still has a lot of room to run on a descending volume like that. Waves.btc. Alright, looking at this drives me nuts. Wow, man, totally tubular market here. I gotta say, where's my indicator? My CM Williams, the ones that finds markets bottoms and spanks them. Thank you. Come back here. I think the moment for altcoins has probably had its moment in the sun at this point. You're probably going to see something that looks a little bit like this. You might see this right here, but these are not very much fun trends to trade right here. I mean, you gotta really wait for this thing and then get out quick. Could we see a valid long-term buy and hold? Absolutely. Yeah, this could be a nice buy and hold long-term, but nothing exciting that makes me want to get in really fast and get out really fast. I think the long-term trend is pretty clearly downward, and that's just not something that's interesting to me. I really want to see an increase in volume, not a decrease in volume. I'm not sure I'd get into this market right now. DGB. I seem to like DGB. Just from a volatility perspective. Yeah, because it popped up right here. And I thought we saw some really nice 1, 2, 3, 4 down along here, down along the actual bottom. I don't like market middles. I like market bottoms. I like buying these a lot. Why? Because they keep spiking up on me, and that's really always pleasant. I think we do see that we came down off the trend line, had to extend that trend line out, and we did see the long return to the norm. And if you were trading this market, that's fine. You definitely did see some opportunities, and that's why I still really like this market, especially when it's crawling along the bottom, is because we can get nice spikes like this up here. Am I looking for more interest in this market? Yep, sure am. It's not a bad one. Can we trade this market? Yeah, it's pretty easy. The bottom obviously forms somewhere along here. I would wait all the way for the bottom to come. If you wanted to automate this, you could get in now, go down, double up. Don't think you'd have to go too much further, and then you'd be profitable up here, and then your automation could could progress from there. But I'd make your entry at this point very, very tiny. There's nothing to really get excited about, a triple bounce off the top here, especially when you're seeing sort of a mini head and shoulders form right here, where it comes up, comes down and forms the left shoulder, goes all the way up to the head, goes all the way down, and then I think we can definitely see it return back to here really easy. So here's a good buy point right here. Even coming off of this line right here, that'd be fine. ETH, man. Cannot buy enough of this, guys, if you're paying attention. Neo, too. Yeah, I was buying in here like mad. I was buying in here like crazy. I sold up here. And you know I bought back in when it did one of these again. And you know I'm just sold it. I was like $388, however many BTC that is, right? Boy, BTC is approaching 5K. I don't think it's going to make it. Do we have room to run in this market? Yeah, we certainly do. Do we want to be cautious about that opportunity? Yes. This is a great 50-50 market. I really like this market for 50-50 a lot because it goes down and then it goes up and then it goes down and then it goes up, and it just does that all the time. And those are great markets for making 50-50 in, especially against something like Bitcoin, because I'm going to pull up Bitcoin before I go to Omisco in 1 minute here. All right. Everybody thinks that Bitcoin can go forever. I'm going to go ahead and say no. I know the long-term trend, it's being respected. That's basically it right there with this little breakdown beneath it right here. Saw another breakdown down here. This is obviously a bear trap right here before we went up again, trying to get you to sell before they push it up. Those jerks. It's a great sell opportunity, and it's a great opportunity to be in this market and other markets. This is why I'm saying, if you're in BTC and ETH, let's look at what this opportunity looks like instead. If you're doing 50-50 in this market right here, which is such a good market to be doing in, you're really not going to give it to me? ETH, BTC. Sorry. If you're in this market, this is such an obvious market to work in. Look at this. It goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. It does it all day long, and you can make money, and you can make more Bitcoins, and you can make more Ethereum. And as a very astute student pointed out today, if you're counting your positions in terms of Bitcoin value, then you're changing the amount of Ether that you're buying each time. And if you are counting your positions in Ether, you're changing the amount of Bitcoin that you're buying each time. And depending upon which one you choose to do, you will make you'll make either more Bitcoin or more Ether at the end of that cycle. And this is how you balance your portfolio. This is how you keep if I want more Ether, then I trade a consistent Bitcoin amount coming down, because then I end up with more Ether, because buying Ether is cheaper at the bottom. If I want more Ether rather, then I trade a consistent amount of Bitcoin, because I keep just buying up more Ether, and then I'm profitable with it. It's the other way around. I'm profitable with it with the Bitcoin, and then I have more Bitcoin at the end of that because I kept my Ether consistent. And so these strategies can work in any way you want. Whatever you're planning to do, make sure you walk through both of them. When you're doing a 50-50, really think through what's going to happen when you do this, right? Is this an opportunity right here when you see the spike come up right here and we dip below and then the trend line changes and we get a nice push upwards on this? Can we trade this opportunity right here? Yeah, absolutely. This is an easy one to trade. Okay, and we're out here, you know, if we're 50-50 and it comes up, maybe we buy, maybe we don't. We wait for it to come down. Maybe we buy here, and we double up down here. It's really easy to do because your trend lines tell you where it's going to come down to. Get a nice bounce off of this. You could have waited for it if you were disciplined. Racket discipline. Omisco, I was promising. I believe I've been trading this one and enjoying it. This is Profit taking. Hopefully, if you're doing basic automation, you're turning it off at this point, and you're waiting for another opportunity. You're counting your Omisco. You're counting your bitcoins because you've just you bought a bunch of Omisco down here, or down here, or down here, or down here. It's probably more likely. And now you're profitable. Count your bitcoins and walk away. We have a descending trend pattern here. It's not a really nasty one, but I do think we see a lot of action on the MACD, a lot of spikiness that we've gone from one trend to another trend a little too fast. I do think we are seeing a decreasing on that MACD on that RSI ultimately, even with this recent spike upward. Okay, let me get rid of this one because I think this is more important here. 1, 2, almost came through it, 3, and then here we are again. Can we expect a turnaround right here on this trend line, right here in this basically uncharted territory? I'd say so. I'd say this is a perfect place for the MACD to come down, have gone up, come down. Maybe we do one more tiny bounce upward before we really come crashing down on this one. Be prepared. Be prepared that this may go a quick correction downward on you. Be absolutely ready that this is your profits. Wait for the solid bounce off of this trend line before doing any entry at all. This is an incredibly risky market to be trading if you are not a very experienced trader in these markets specifically. Here's what I would do. So I'd go 1, 2. It's just too much to fall, man. I can't recommend it. Unless you really are prepared to come down here and just quadruple up, and that's your very first buy-in. That's a much less risky trade. Can you do that? Let's see here. With this guy? How about him? I'd say him or him right in here. I think this is pretty correlated. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tests of this line right here, right? I would definitely skip this line, let it come falling right on through and bounce off of this line again, see if we can get a good solid test of this bottom off of what is clearly a decreasing trend. I think this trend has run its course. Please trade carefully. If you're going to buy, be prepared for a lot of downward motion before you make any profit at all. You're so much better waiting for the bottom and going and finding a coin that has already done its crashing and is ready to go up again. I think that's all of the time we have for this evening, but I really do appreciate all of the hard effort that everybody is putting into this because it really is starting to show, and I really do appreciate the way that you guys are coming together as a team. There are huge opportunities that we are building together, and it doesn't seem that way right away. However, the opportunities that we are building together can become exponential when we work them together. As a team, we can make this a bigger strategy, one that we're working together and cooperating on. When you are 6 months down the line, when you have doubled and tripled and quadrupled and 10x your portfolio, more options become available to you, more strategies become viable. Once you are familiar, once you have automated your strategies, and once you're doing that consistently, instead of doing 10 trades a day, you can do 100 trades a day. But you have to get to the point where you have a portfolio that can be properly automated and then walk away from. This is really important, and if you just think that you can buy a bot and be profitable on day 1 or even profitable in month 1, I really think that you haven't thought this through far enough. What people are doing is they're doing manual trades and they're being profitable at it, and they're doing it using tiny micro positioning, and they're mastering that. And if you can't master that, and I mean really get that down until you can do it in your sleep and you're doing it with your whole portfolio across all of them, You can't double your portfolio doing that. You don't have the discipline to sit here and figure out automation. Automation requires even more discipline. It requires even more forethought. It requires even more planning. It requires even more understanding, fundamental understanding of what the market is going to do. And if you can't do that all night long in your sleep, automation is going to make you bag holders. It is. It's going to make you bag holders. If you do not fundamentally understand that um, the one position is 0.001 and the answer is always one position, no matter what. This strategy does not work. It really does not. If you do not skip this line right here on your double up in order to go down to this line right here for your triple up, or even down to this line right here for your quadruple up, you will find yourself in a world of hurt really, really, really fast. You will absolutely automate this and think you're going to be rich, and then you're going to come back in a couple of days and you're going to have made all of this money, and you're going to come back in a couple of weeks and you're going to have made 10 times more money, and then you're going to come back a month later and you're going to be you're going to be lower than when you started. And that's the reality of these markets. These markets go up and they go down. And I don't just mean these little up and then down motions right here. I mean they go way, 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 way the hell up. And then they go way, 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 way the hell down. And if you are not prepared to just wait that out like crazy and doesn't even bother you to do that, this is not the market for you. Go trade Forex. Forex is so much easier to just, it just moves in these slow waves. It doesn't actually do these spiky, crazy, manipulated things. So really be careful. The other thing I do want to mention is there's coins out there, really that you must pay attention to the fundamentals to. If you do not understand the fundamentals of a coin, you cannot trade that market. There is a coin. It's in the coin market cap, and it is there simply through and it's there simply through, there's too many N's. It's like 65 or something. It's there simply through manipulation. No limit coin. Here it is. This is the one. This is a scam coin. Okay? We are talking about a coin that has $100 million market cap on $382,000 worth of volume. This is not legit. This is not a tradable coin. And you come in here and you look at this thing and it looks really good. Oh my God, I would have loved to have been in down here because I'd love to be out right now. You really would love to be out right now, because I'm going to tell you that in 6 months, you're going to look back at this chart and you are going to wish you had gotten out right now. Okay? This is luck. This is how you get lucky. More importantly, this is how you get manipulated. This no limit coin is tied to this website, which is a total scam. And when you look a little bit deeper, you realize that you're actually dealing with a template website. It's full of coming soon, promises, all this stuff. And when you get down to this white paper, to download the white paper, there is no white paper. Why is there no white paper? The reason that there's no white paper is because this is a 100% pre-mine ICO scam. What they do is they pre-mine the whole chain themselves, they get it, sneak it up on the markets, and then they sit there and trade it between themselves for an increasingly manipulated price. And they can do this because they're giving each other money, right? They're having one bot give another bot money, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the cost of doing that is your maker-taker fee. That's all that it is. You just trade them back and forth, okay? What this does is this creates a coin market cap that looks like it's legit. There's no actual volume here in this market. You have to pay attention to the fundamentals of this coin. This is a manipulation scam. This is absolutely nothing to be trivializing with. Okay. Now compare this to Monaco. We had $56 million worth of Monaco move today in a $124 million market cap. That's a really significant opportunity right there. It also came down 28.29%. Did you need to be ready for a 30% drop in the market? I don't know if you're from stocks, but that doesn't happen in stocks. And that doesn't happen day after day after day after day after day, but it does in crypto. Look at the solid wall on this, and if you don't think it can make another solid wall on this, absolutely it can. And we had a trader today in the room, someone who's fairly new at this as I understand it, and they were incredibly profitable on this motion of the market right here, this downward trend right here. They made a lot of opportunity for themselves, and then they traded it. And what I mean by opportunity is they learned so much in making whatever little tiny fraction of a microtransaction they made. This really has the opportunity to change lives. This really has the opportunity to turn into something big. And the more that we work together, the more that we work as a team, the more that we can take advantage of this opportunity. I thank you very much for your time, and I do hope you guys found this useful. Y'all have a good night now.